What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing my second album review of the day, and that would be Zeal and Ardor, self-titled, which means that the title of the album is also Zeal and Ardor. So yeah, I just finished my Spanish Zoom class, and I have just written the bullet point script for my album review, and I will be reviewing this new album. Zeal and Ardor is a metal band from Switzerland and now based in the US, I think. It is led by Manuel Gano, and about 4 years ago, they released the album Stranger Fruit, which is very hard hitting. It is a very innovative mix between black metal, blues, and spirituals. The performances are very intense, the lyrics are very interesting, and it is an awesome album. I reviewed it on my channel as well, and I can't believe it's already been 4 years. I feel really old right now. But anyways, they have returned with a new album with a badass looking album cover. Damn! Alright, so the title track is a rather slow opening to the album, in my opinion. Even though I like the very theatrical lyrics of the track, I think instrumentally it started off a little bit slow. And then that sort of follows the track Run, which is one of the lead up singles to the album with the grimy riffs, the rampant drums, the random glitchy bursts of screams. It is very intense and very scary. And what I also really love about this track are the lyrics that concern religion. Find God. Where's your God now? Run, run, run. It's kind of funny because it reminds me of Kanye West. Find God, you're fired. Find God and come back. But yeah, this is a very great track. And then the religious theme sort of carry onto the next track, Death to the Holy, with the single piano note and the very spiritual verses. And by spiritual, I mean uh, the genre of music, spiritual. And in the chorus, it jarringly transitions into a dirty metal chorus, which is fine in my opinion. And I actually kind of like the contrast between the quieter parts, the more spiritual parts, to the more metal parts. I think it's really cool. And then we have the track Immersion, which is a bit of a head scratcher because this track started off with some sweet glitchy instrumentals, something that I would totally not expect Zeal and Ardor to make. And then of course the metal comes in and it sort of made more sense to me now. That is, the track is a shoegaze black metal track a la Deftones. And um I guess it does feel kind of out of place. It doesn't sound that bad, but it does feel really out of place in the overall context of the album. And then we have the track Golden Liar, which is a slow burn. In my opinion, the verses and the choruses are kind of forgettable, and it is easily the weakest track on the album. But the pace of the album quickly jumps back up with the track Erase, with the skipping, chugging riffs, the detuned guitars. I love detuned guitars, man. I love them. I love detuned guitars. And the song structure of this track is kind of odd, it's kind of off-kiltered, and it sort of adds this uneasy feeling to the track. And then we have the track Bow, which is a slow, chugging track, and with these refrains towards the end, bow down to American way, bow down to the American way. And yeah, this track is about the American way, or sort of this. I guess it's rather vague and abstract in what it's trying to express, but the oppression, the constant reliance on false information, and that is the American way. And this track hits a little harder for me, to the fact that because of the fact that I'm literally in America right now, and if I'm listening to this album in Hong Kong, my home, I would just be like, haha, I'm glad I'm not there. But I'm here now. Rip. Next up, we have Feed the Machine, which instrumentally I think is a little bit more trite than the rest of the tracks, but I like the lyrics. I like the demonic references from the Lesser Keys of Solomon. I think that's really cool. And then one of the best tracks on the album, in my opinion, I Caught You. I love the wild, withering guitar riffs, the alarm sounds in the chorus, the shrill growls, which is mixed on top of these vocals. The vocals are kind of layered on this track. We have some soulful singing underneath, and then these growls on top. and the instrumentals borderlines death metal. It is just amazing. And then that is followed with Church Burns, which is just classic Zeal and Ardor track with lyrics about a burning church, shackle noises, and then that is followed with Goethe Dämmerung, which is a solid chunk of metal track. Maybe not one of the more creative tracks musically, but it's fine. And then we have Hold Your Head Low, which is another highlight on the album for me. This track is surprisingly jazzy. Like the intro to the track is very jazzy with the swaying drums and the little pinches of reverby guitars. It's really fun. And then we have the growls, the guitars, they return again, and it's very climactic. And I love the ending. Oh my god, I love the ending. It's echoey and spacey and disorienting, and I really like the lyrics about oppression. You know, keep your head low, cower in fear, shame on you, fool. And then we have JMB, which stands for Jazz, Metal, Blues, and the track is an exhilarating mix between these three genres. It's speedy, it's exciting, and the riffs, they riff off of a single note, but it does so in such a repetitive fashion. It's just so exciting, and it reminds me a lot of Liturgy, like the track Generation, where it's just one note, but it just slaps so hard. And finally, the album ends up on HIL, which means All Hope is Lost. And it is a pretty electronic heavy ending with sunburned, blown out riffs. Not the most solid ending ever, but it's fine. Overall, the album is pretty good, actually. My first listen, um, when I listened to this album the first time, I thought it's a 7 out of 10. But after repeated listens, I appreciate it a little more, and it's definitely a very interesting album, both lyrically and instrumentally. My favorite track here is I Caught You or Hold Your Head Low, and my least favorite is Golden Liar. I'm giving Zeal and Ardor self-titled 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to the latest Zeal and Ardor album? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like, and subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching. I will be reviewing the new Spoon, Big Thief. I heard King Giz is releasing an album. I don't know. Beach House. Very soon.